I made it to Fiji, Lana.
Ooh,
I did it.
glad you're here.
Thank
'Cause
you.
it's hot here though,
I know.
and I'm hungry. They don't feed us here.
No.
Sit up.
No. There's some ants over on that tree if you want.
I mean, it tastes like nothing.
If you eat 150 of those, I think you'll get yourself somewhere.
Sure, tastes like nothing to me, so why not? But hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am drinking water because hydration is important. And you should drink some water too. And if I was drinking this, I'll be drinking it out of my cup mug. Ooh. Ooh. Panna full of cup mug, panna full of cup mug. Burr, 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 burr. And you can get your cup mug at lanagscreations.etsy.com. .etsy.com, where we are supposed to ship internationally and domestically here in the U.S. So there should be no excuses. But my distributors are acting crazy when it comes to my international shipping. So
No.
as of right now, we do ship domestically US in the U.S. So
Oh no.
there are some excuses, but not many.
There are some excuses that have nothing to do with Lana.
There's nothing to do with me. It's the distributors. But we'll figure it out. I'm working on it. And I'll come back and let you know when there are no excuses. Period.
And I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I am drinking some strawberry lime energy drink, not sponsored. It's in my tumbler today because I didn't want to just have a can.
Mm-hmm.
One of those days. And I've got water, obviously, because hydration is very important. And oh boy, Lana.
Mm-hmm.
This sure was an episode of Survivor 46.
Yeah.
This could have been an email. This episode could have been an email, and instead it was 2 hours.
This 2-hour episode could have been an hour, honestly. And I would have been like, work, makes sense. But they gave us a 2-hour episode, and I think this was the fluffiest piece of show on Survivor that I've seen in a very long time.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, well, sure. But before we dive deep into Survivor episode 2, subscribe to the channel. You're here, you see us, you like us. Hit the subscribe button and help us out because your subscribing helps the channel out tremendously. So subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content because we do put content out almost every single day about almost everything reality TV. And if you are a fan of drag or drag race of any kind, we have a channel for you at the Cup Pod where we put out content almost every single day about almost everything drag related. So go check us out over there and hit the notification bell as well. And if you want to join the tea room, we have our membership channel in the tea room where we have exclusive content that you'll get early access to and exclusive content that only you can see in that channel. Join the tea room and hit the join button down below on the main channel. Or if you prefer the Patreon app, you can go join us at Patreon as well. Same exclusive content, just a different app, but $5 a month to get some great stuff. We got great stuff in store for you over there. And if you are a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, and it's heating up right now over there, go to our the Cup ESC, where we have a lot of content coming your way. So hit the subscribe button over there and the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. And do all those things. And also, if you just want to give us a super thanks, go to the main channel, hit the super thanks. Anything that you give us on that channel will go to help make a better and greater content for you here at the Cup. So do all of those things. Thanks.
Thank you.
So, Logan and I have a goal. We're not going to say what the goal is out loud because we want to reach it. But if we said this at the beginning, this episode could have been an email. It really was a lot of nothing.
This it's and we always talk about wanting to know backstory of people and getting all of that information, and oh boy did we get backstory on backstory on backstory and a whole lot of tribal dynamics, which
wow. That's all I can say. Wow.
And a lot of these tribal dynamics feel very similar to one another.
One of these things are quite like the other. It's not even not like the other. One of these things are just like the other. But we're going to go tribe by tribe and talk up into the immunity challenge. So let's start with Yanu, because they come back from tribal.
After the rise, fall, and absolute crash and burn of Jelinski, which I was not here to talk about last week. I will say I thought the premiere of this season was very good. I really enjoyed the premiere. This episode, not as much, but I did really enjoy the premiere, and I do like this cast a whole lot. But yes, they come back. Jelinski is gone. Banu is in a spiral. A spiral that lasts the entire episode. Because now he is worried. He thinks he is on a super strategic tribe. And he recognizes that he's not the most strategic person. And so he confides in Kenzie about that.
I don't even know what to say about Banu in this episode, because Banu took me on a journey with him. It was, I liked Banu. I felt sorry for Banu. I was annoyed at Banu. I was hopeful for Banu. It was just a journey, and then it ended up being, I don't even know what to think about you anymore, Banu. Like, I don't know what to say about him. I feel like he is taking me too many places way too fast for my liking. And I'm like, I don't even want to be on this emotional journey, roller coaster with you. I want off, please. Thank you. Let me off, and I want to go. It's crazy.
The one thing I had heard from my roommate, because my roommate watched the episode last night, I watched it this morning. And the one thing he had told me before I watched the episode, he sends me the text saying, Banu is pissing me off. And I was like, oh God, okay. So, yeah. So Banu is confiding in Kenzie. Q and Tiffany are now worried about Kenzie getting in close with everybody. And then there's Jess, who is clearly just very socially awkward. She's eaten some ants. She doesn't really know where she is in her tribe. And Kenzie has decided that she wants to, be good with everybody. So she tries to get Jess and Banu to potentially connect the three of them together as an alliance moving forward. And Jess and Banu gave her nothing.
I don't know if Jess even knows what game she's playing.
They both do. Here's the problem. They're both big fans of Survivor. They both know the game. That's what makes this entire thing even crazier. And later on, when Kenzie is like, I feel like I'm on a tribe of people that don't know how to play Survivor. It's like, you're not, though, because I feel like everyone on your tribe is a fan for the most part. The problem is being a fan of Survivor and playing Survivor are two very, very different things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's wild because like Kenzie was trying to give them this plan that maybe we can work together just in case we need to possibly get out one of those two because maybe and Jess is kind of like and it like this conversation can only stay here. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. Pew, Q.
Immediately go.
Q. Let me tell you. Kenzie want to get y'all out. She want to get you out. She said, she's just, y'all the strongest ones. We need to, and Q had already been having some feelings about Kenzie. So this just confirmed in his mind, nah, I can't work with her. I can't work. Q, every time I see Q on my screen, and I know he's, 30-something?
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around that age. He gives me a 47-year-old military man. Just like...
So Randon.
Huh?
So Randon.
Yeah, but he gives me that energy, that 47-year-old military man whose mind is, once it's made up, it's made up. There's no changing it. There's no flexibility in it. He's just like, I knew it. She's dead to me. And she's dead to you. Like, you can't change any. And I was just like, the more and more I see him, the more and more I was like, his grandmama raised him.
Yeah.
His grandma.
I get that energy as well because I'm very much so that exact same kind of way.
Yeah.
I was raised by my grandma. So
when you are raised by your grandmama, it's just a whole nother level of old soul that is instilled in you. And you can be 27, but be the oldest soul out there. Like, you are like very wise. And I love that for him. But yeah, he was like, I knew it. He was like, okay, all right. Well, we go work together. And she was like, yeah, that's what I want. So that's the one thing we do know about Jess. She wants to actually really work with Q. And I was like, oh, okay, work, Diva. Sure.
A good choice if you're gonna align with someone. That's a pretty good choice. So, but yeah. So that's kind of where we leave Yanu for now.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Let's go to Siga. They're very quiet.
The easy one.
So, yeah.
There is still a bit going on. They get Ben successfully is building a fire. And we get Ben's, backstory. I have to say, 2 episodes in, I don't mind Ben.
I don't mind Ben either. I think Ben is doing it for me.
He seems great. I didn't know what to expect of him from the preseason stuff. And I said in that I wasn't, I didn't know how much of a fan of him I would be. I still don't necessarily know, but I find a level of authenticity with him that I'm really liking. And that's kind of where I'm at with him at the moment. I'm like, you seem very genuine. And I like that. So he's fine. But we see kind of these 3 trios or 3 duos forming to an extent on this tribe, and more so 2 alliances of 4, where we have the Charlie's Angels alliance with the women and Charlie, but then Tim is also now concerned about the game and thinks that the guys should pull in Maria because of her extra vote. And so Charlie and Maria kind of realizing, hey, we are both in the middle of these 2 alliances. We should ride or die. And they talk about how their favorite alliance from the past was Malcolm and Denise.
Yeah.
And they are very Malcolm and Denise.
Yeah, very much so.
I did not expect Charlie and Maria to align in this way, but I'm so here for it.
I'm not mad at it. I think it's a good alliance to have in the middle. Like they are clearly and probably for a while could be the swing votes in this tribe. I hope they don't get tribe swap screwed, but I know right now they are in a very good position.
Yep.
Very good position. Even if they lose, they're in a very good position to be all right.
Yep.
And Maria won't have to use that extra vote for a minute, I don't think.
No. Unless the other two duos realize what's happening.
Yes. And as of right now, nobody's realizing nothing.
Nope. And then we get the fluffiest moment of any New Era season that I've ever seen.
But it was probably the most entertaining moment of this episode.
Because we have a song battle between Charlie and Ben, who each named over 100 songs of their favorite artists being Taylor Swift and Metallica.
I said, I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah.
To see them going back and forth, just naming song after song after song, and knowing that what is over 100 and what do you say 6 that many songs that they can name of that one artist. That's impressive. It's impressive.
Can't relate.
I mean, I could do it with some artists, but even then, I'm like, could we go into their solo career from their group, from the solo into like
right.
Yeah.
We name songs from a movie they were in.
Right. Like could we do a soundtrack? I don't know. But yeah, they went on and they went on and they went on. And it was impressive. And I was like, this is entertaining actually. I didn't think I'd be that entertained, but I was.
Yeah.
That was the gist of Sega. Like they were just chill. They were just chill this entire episode. They were just like, we're gonna make some fire. We're gonna talk about music. We go do a little strategy talk here and there.
They showed them that they had to.
Right. But if you wanted to cut out a good hour of this episode, we could have they could have put all of that Sega stuff on the cutting room floor, and it would have made no difference in the episode. That's
yeah. It. Let's go to Nami.
Yes, let's go to Nami,
where the dominant player who is in good with almost everyone on the tribe, to nobody's surprise, really is Tevin.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the one person that's not in with Tevin, which I will say is a little surprising to me, Venus.
Yes.
And we get her backstory as well. I really like Venus. I really do. I want her to find her people. And she kind of, sort of has people. Sort of. A little bit.
Kind of.
Because her and Soda had a very instant connection from day one. But Soda's realizing nobody else really is liking Venus that much.
And so Soda's kind of like, I'm gonna back up slowly but surely. Hey, girl, no, girl, we fine. I'm gonna go over here, but I'll talk to you later. Don't worry about it. No, I'll be back. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Slowly but distancing herself from Venus. And I feel like that's a mistake. I
Yeah.
feel like it's a mistake to do that. I feel like it's a mistake for Tevin to just not talk to her at all. I was like, that's a mistake because you really need to be social with everybody. Even if you got to cut their throat later on, you still need to make them feel like you're good with them.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you're good with them, they won't come after you later, even if you're not really cool with them. Like, I would never just shun anybody and not talk to somebody in a game this small, a tribe this small. You lose. It don't take but 3 votes to knock you out.
Yeah.
And even if you're sitting on top of the world or you think you are, other people can see you up there and be like, oh, they sitting pretty up there.
Mm-hmm.
We sitting down here. They sitting up there. What if we snatch them down? So I'm like, I would never not. And like, he's gone to the point where she would talk to him and he just walk away. I was like, no, Tevin, that's not good strategy. That's not good game. It's not good. It's not
Side
good.
eyeing him a little bit in this
A little
episode.
bit. I'm like, okay, this episode was not a good one for a few of my favorites. It made me go, it made me step back a little bit, like, oh, y'all make it.
I was like, oh, Tevin, no. Oh, Soda, no. Oh, Q, Tiff, Kenzie, no.
Right.
Manu, no.
Like all of my favorites, I'm like,
but also I do love how much chaos. Like, everyone's complaining about the chaos now, and I'm like, the chaos is kind of fun to watch.
Right. We can't have it both ways. We can't have a interesting, wild season without having a little chaos mixed in there. Like, I'm okay with the chaos. I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting the process with all of these people. Yeah, I might be sad on them a little bit this week, but next week I could be coming back like, yes, king, yes, queen, they killing it, peer. But right now I'm just like, that's not a good move. But you know who I am not sad on? Randon.
Yeah, so we see this kind of separate but collective idol hunt going on.
Mm-hmm.
Venus, Randon, and Hunter all separately going for an idol hunt. And it's Randon that ends up finding the same Beware advantage that Tiffany found at Yanu.
Yep.
And so obviously, like, they haven't lost the challenge yet, spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
So he currently doesn't have a vote, but he knows where the idol is locked in the box. And I have to say, I really like this twist on the Beware advantage. I like that it's tied to, losing a challenge and having it, the scramble that can ensue and the panic that can ensue from that. Mm-hmm. I really, really like that. I love the way Tiffany handled it in the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Brandon will probably do a very, very similar thing. But seeing that he might be at the bottom, he decides that he needs one person to trust.
Mm-hmm.
So he picks Venus.
The one person who he did not trust at the beginning. But he see the writing on the wall too far. He sees she's at the bottom too. Yep. So if we both at the bottom, we need to claw our way to the top.
Yep.
And she was like so grateful that somebody was giving her a lifeline in this game. Yep. Because she broke down earlier and she was in a moment where she felt like she had nobody. She was like, I am at the bottom. I have nobody trying to talk to me. Nobody's trying to play this game with me. It's a disheartening feeling. It's leaving me very emotional and torn and vulnerable. And I hate that. And Randy gave her a lifeline and he was like somebody who she did not expect.
Yeah.
And it's like, I kind of feel like that's kind of we were talking about Charlie and Maria's duo. I think this is actually another great duo because if they find the idol together or separate, and they can use it to both of their benefits, it can be really good for them. So I like this connection, and I like how Random put it. He was like, "I think we need to look out for each other, and I got you," and he meant that. We'll see later on in this episode. He meant that, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, that was an interesting dynamic that happened at Nami.
Yeah. And then we go to the challenge.
Yep.
So you have to push a cart through some obstacles.
First got to put the wheels together, put the cart together.
You got to put the cart together. You got to push the cart. You got to get your chests out of the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Drive it through a maze, and then you have to construct the puzzle arch with the word persistence.
Mm-hmm.
This was a mess for one.
All the way around.
All the way around.
For everybody.
Nobody was doing it well.
You know what my favorite part of this whole challenge was?
Huh?
Liz and Mariah sitting on the bench like, hey, I like your glasses. I like your socks. You're good. I'm like, look at them. I was like, look at y'all looking in the mirror, looking at each other, looking at yourself like, you're cute. You're cute.
Very Parent Trap.
Very Parent Trap. I was like, this is hilarious. That was my favorite part of this.
Can we talk about Liz earlier in the episode going, oh, I just want the title of Soul Survivor. The money wouldn't the money would be very helpful with my life, but it wouldn't change my life. I'm like, okay, bye. Bye, Liz.
I would send her home.
Bye, Liz.
Like the second we lose the challenge, she would go home. I'm like, Miss, I don't need the money.
She didn't say that in front of everybody. She said it in her confessional, which is very smart.
Yes, but she's talking about all of her many businesses that she has and endeavors. Like that tribe already know if something happened and they lose, she going home. Like everybody, I think that's a well-known fact for everybody because they're like, she don't need the money. She here for the experience. I hope you enjoy your few days while you was here because you have to go now.
Yeah.
And it would be crazy if they did anything else. But they going through this challenge, and everybody's like falling apart. They can't get the arch up. The boxes are heavy. Jeff is like, these boxes are heavy. It could break your toe or scrape off all your face. I'm like, then why are we doing it, Jeff?
So then why are we doing this again?
Why? If this could break a toe or scrape off half of my face. Okay.
Well, that's not even the part that injured a toe.
No, because the cart apparently injured a toe because people
we'll talk about
listening.
The toe here in a minute.
Yeah.
But everyone's emotional, everyone's struggling, everyone at Yanu is yelling at Jess.
Because baby Jess was giving the very bare minimum that she could
go on, girl, give us nothing.
Like she was
holding up a block.
She walked through the maze while everybody was pushing. She barely helped get the cart up, and she barely did anything. And then she took her one block and was like, "What do you want me to do? I'm only so small." I'm like, "Girl, if you don't stretch the little 5'1" limbs as far as you can get them."
You know who would have been really good for this challenge?
Linsky. I was like, him and his long arm span.
Literally. And I like Jess. That's the problem. It's I
was like, y'all made the wrong decision last week. Y'all could have got rid of him this week.
Truly. They could have swapped the order.
Just swapped the order, but Because he would have been the perfect for that middle
Yep.
with his long, wide span and just held that middle up while they got the rest of them letters around.
Yep.
It was insane, but honestly, everybody was flopping in this one. Nami got it in first, but then it was wrong
It didn't spell the same thing on
both sides. No, so they had to figure it out. But eventually, it came down to the winners, and same as before, nothing's changed. Nami wins first.
Nami?
Nami wins, but Sika comes in second, and now they get a whole
Fishing
kit, and Sika gets the smaller but yet sustainable fishing kit.
Can we talk about just the gamut of emotions going on? Because the challenge is over.
Yes.
Soda is on the ground, hyperventilating and crying. Tevin is like standing, like crouched over, crying. Siga is like in this like circle, just like everybody. It took everybody. And then you just hear them keep saying everybody as they cut to every individual member of Yanu.
Yep.
And then when all the tribes left, Tiffany was just like, I'm going to save my actual thoughts for later on. I can't verbalize what I actually want to say right now, because otherwise this would not be good. And I'm like, girl, I feel that in every inch of my spirit.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes, look, her mama taught her, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And she was like, if I say what I want to say right now, y'all wouldn't understand it, and America wouldn't understand it, and I would be painted as something I am not. So I'm going.
Yeah. And I felt really bad for Tiffany in this too, because they get back to camp. She starts breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
And in this moment, Bonu's like, but you kicked ass. I'm like, Bonu, this is not the moment. Okay? Bonu, this is not the moment. Let her have her situation. She walks off and talks about a very real sort of scenario that we see both in Survivor and in the real world, where she's just like, I don't want the other tribes to have this perception of me as this angry Black woman.
That is the weight
which is
every Black woman has going into these games.
Yeah.
Like, I have to make sure I am not perceived as that angry Black woman, because as soon as I show emotion, I'm the angry Black woman, and there's no lifting that label. America's going to see me that way. The tribe is going to see me that way. And if the other tribe sees me that way, and I do happen to make it to merge, that's all I'm going to be, is the angry Black woman that they don't want to work with. Yep. I felt bad for her, because I was like, that's a real, whole nother level of gameplay you have to play on just playing Survivor. It's like, now I have to look at how people perceive me, and if people perceive me as this, they will never want to work with me.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
This, after all of the frustration and the yelling and the crying and the emotions of the immunity challenge and post the immunity challenge, that's happening. While that's happening, we got to talk about Venus's toe.
Yeah.
Which I don't even remember as a part of the challenge. I don't remember seeing it.
I don't remember seeing it either.
So I don't know whether it was just like one of those glossed over moments, or whether they just straight up didn't show it because they were showing the other tribe. But everyone's so excited about the fishing gear because they won, and Venus is pissed off because a wagon was dragged over her toe, and she says that it's because of her tribe not listening to her and disregarding her voice. And you know what? That's so valid. And I honestly, if it was my toe, they would not hear the end of it.
I find like I'm torn because I do feel like her feelings are very valid and she should be able to express her valid feelings. I feel like the timing is off because in that moment, you took a moment where everybody was happy and celebrating and you brought the whole mood down because you're upset because your toe hurts. And so now we all have to feel the brunt of how you feel, but you don't care how we all feel in this moment. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're having a good time because your toe hurts. So now we all have to come down to feeling bad about your toe. No matter what we just won and we just accomplished and we just did as a collective group, we have to now acknowledge your toe and dwell on your toe. Is her feelings valid? Absolutely. She should be upset about the fact that y'all didn't listen to me. But I feel like the way she came about it kind of just was like, that seems a little selfish and self-righteous for you. Like, hold on. Y'all weren't listening to me and y'all ran over my toe. And so now I'm upset and we all need to be mad and you all need to apologize. Like, it's just like, okay, we're celebrating. We're happy. Like, I'm very happy for us. We had a great time. This was great, y'all. We did it. All I would like to ask, though, is if we can all listen to each other more when we are doing these challenges because we have to work as a team. And I don't feel like y'all are listening to my voice as a team. Yeah. We're a team. We're working together as a group. And I don't feel like my voice is heard. So then when they turn around and say, what do you mean? Example. In this challenge, when I was telling you all to go left and y'all just went straight, y'all ran over my toe. And so now I'm hurting really bad right now because of my toe. I don't want y'all to, change anything, but I'm just saying, as a group, we need to listen more to each other. Cool.
And I absolutely agree with you 100% in that. However, the only person that gave her the time of day to listen to her in that moment was Soda.
Yes.
And so it's like everybody else had already moved on.
Absolutely.
And dismissed her.
Absolutely.
And even Soda gets a little, like, not annoyed necessarily in this moment, but she's kind of like, well, I don't know whether you're meaning me specifically or the group as a whole. And, like, I think Venus could be expressing the way she feels a bit better and a bit more cohesively to the entire group. But also,
they're not listening to her in the first place.
They're not going to listen to her in the first place. They have already disregarded her. And so it's a just big
catch-22. Yeah,
it's a catch-22 for sure. We'll see what develops of that. I really don't know, like, what will develop of it.
I mean, I would literally just be like, walk over to Tevin because I know he's I'm like, listen, I want to talk to you. We need to have a conversation because I don't know what I did to you to make you just not want to talk to me. Like, have that conversation. And even if it goes left, you got backup in Randon now. Yeah. So you have a little wiggle room to try to make inroads. And if it don't work, it don't work. But you got Randon and you still got Soda a little bit. So try to make more of those connections. Talk to Liz, talk to Hunter, like talk to more people. Even if they dismiss you, be like, y'all doing that right now. You're dismissing me, by the way. I just want to point out that I'm trying to talk to you and you're walking away. So there it is. I'm extending the olive branch to you. You in return are spitting in my face. So, but I feel like a lot of this with her and with Tevin and with Soda sometimes it's a lack of respect, a lack of communication, a lack of empathy towards one another, each other. And they like, I made my decision. I don't like her. Or Soda, in Soda's case, I like her, but I can't attach my wagon to her.
Yeah.
And Venus is very much at her wit's end. So she's kind of like, ugh. So I'm going to throw a temper tantrum. And that ain't going to vote well. So it's kind of, all of them gave me a little, I was like, I'm a little side-eyeing all y'all today, this week. This week was a little side-eye for all of them.
But speaking of side-eye, let's just jump over back to our mess tribe this season. What is it with the purple tribes? It's purple and yellow always. I'm like, stop.
They get a whole side. Kenzie, girl, I love you. I do.
We love Kenzie here.
You know I love you here. But this
I
is
love all 5 of these people on this tribe.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I didn't want to see a single one of these people go home.
But y'all did the absolute most for no reason at all. Why are we making fake idols? And why are we doing this whole plan to give this girl this fake idol only for it to be as predictable as we thought it was going to be in the first place? Like, we had a whole lot of foolery and foolishness and scampering around this camp for everything to happen just how we thought it was going to happen. Like, why? Y'all could have just walked up to that girl and like, you finna go. It's going to be you tonight.
Yeah.
Because you already know Tiffany got the idol, so she can't go find an idol. So all you got to do is be like, Jess, it's you tonight. Sorry. And let her have his last moments in peace, or trying to figure out if she can do anything. And knowing Jess, she would have been like, okay.
Honestly.
All right. Like, it didn't need all that. We didn't need all that. It was just so much not. And Kenzie, you put up a post today, said, were you not entertained? No. Unfortunately, no.
Not by that part of the
Not
episode.
by that part at all.
No, it felt, and I want to try to put myself into the mind of the game for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And what she says as far as the reasoning for doing this whole plan is to make sure that Jess doesn't play her shot in the dark, so that way there's the potential that like somebody else would go home.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand that plan.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely get it. I understand the reason behind the whole fake idol thing. I don't, and I like that the fake idol was planted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we needed to go to the point of Q giving Jess the fake idol directly. I don't think that needed to happen.
No.
Because if she can't even go out and find an idol on her own volition,
she ain't gonna play that shot in the dark.
Tiffany guiding her. Like, I don't think she's going to, play her shot in the dark.
I don't think so. I mean, even if you didn't tell her it was going to be her, and y'all told her it was going to be Banu, what you go tell Banu, look, we telling her it's you, but it ain't you. And just let it alone.
And even then,
I don't think she would have played it.
Y'all don't trust Banu either. Split the vote. You could split a vote on the off chance that somehow Jess does get lucky enough.
Right.
You split a vote. You put another vote onto him.
Yep.
And he goes home. Because you're not really wanting to work. Well, I don't even know what the dynamics of this tribe are, to be honest with you. Because Q and Kenzie don't trust each other. And Kenzie's wanting to work with Banu, but then not wanting to work with Banu. And Q and Tiffany are kind of just like, well, then what do we do in the middle? And Q and Kenzie had come up with this idea to potentially vote out Banu. And then Q and, Jess and Q are coming up with this plan to potentially vote out Kenzie. And Tiffany's like, okay, well, maybe I'm on board to vote out Kenzie, but also
I'm on board to vote out Banu, but I'm also on board to vote out Jess. Like, yo.
The only person whose names did not get brought up as a potential to be voted out in this episode is Q and Tiffany. And even then, I feel like someone did bring up Tiffany.
I mean, Kenzie said we got to get out Tiffany and Q. And she said Tiffany first because Q was strong. So
this disaster of a tribe. Am I entertained by all of this chaos and disaster? Yes.
Yes. It's chaotic, craziness, foolery. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's happening. This is stupid. This is crazy. This is wild. But I'm also like, but why? But why? Why are we doing so much? Anyway, so we get to this point, they're going back and forth, and we go to tribal. And Banu is Banuing. One more time.
Honestly, it is a verb at this point.
It is this Banu is go Banu every single time at tribal council
Because
because
when Banu's,
when Banu's, man,
Banu is Banuing.
Banu's, baby. I mean, Banu's. And you'd be like,
Banu.
Banu.
Oh.
Banu. Because he heard from Q that Kenzie said that he was emotional. Now, Kenzie only said this because she was talking to Jess and she wanted to make Jess feel like Banu was the vote. And she was like, Banu's a little emotional. He's just a little, we don't know what to tell. He's a wild card. So they were like, yeah, gotta be Banu. But Banu heard that and he lost it. He was like, I know you think I'm emotional. I mean, I don't even know if Jeff asked the first question. He was just like,
did Jeff say anything during this tribal? I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember.
I think Jeff said, so Yanu, you're back again. Jeff, I got something to say. And I will say. And he went on about how he was emotional and he is just passionate about this game. That's just who he is. And Jeff is like, so you think you're on the chopping block? Of course I am, Jeff. I think it's me. I think I'm on the chopping block. I'm in trouble. And I just want this tribe to know that I am here. I'm giving 110%. I'm doing everything I can for this tribe. Da, da, da. And some people are just not.
Meanwhile, I find it so interesting too. You juxtapose what Bonnie was being very, very openly like, I wear my emotion on my sleeve, this, that, and the third. You also have Tiffany being like, well, I was truly embarrassed about the way that I presented myself at this challenge. And it's two sides of the same leaf, to use a metaphor we're seeing on another show right now.
No, not the leaf.
If you flip over the leaf, it's the same leaf.
Not the leaf.
And then Bonnie was just like, well, me and Jess only really connected yesterday. And Bonnie was just opening the floodgates, and everyone else is just like, what is happening?
And so he was like, and this is what we're talking about, Banu. We don't know what happens if you just go off and say everything that's in your head or in your heart. You just he's like, no, I'm saying this with us because we're a tribe. This is our tribe. I'm saying it with you. They're like, we don't know if you're going to do this with other people. I would never do this around other people. I know how to control it. I can bring it in. Kenzie was like, I don't know if you can. We don't know this because you've been doing this. This is the second time. And now Kenzie, Q, and Tiffany are looking at each other like, oh, no, this is crazy. So Banu just pretty much say, I'm voting Jess. That's pretty much what he could have just said that. And so he's like, so Jeff finally is like, Banu, you've done this the second time where you made it a statement and it clearly was at Jelinski last week. And now you're making a statement and is it time to vote? And he was like, I don't know. Then he turns around.
He turns to Kenzie. And it's just like, who do I vote? What? Kenzie's just like, it's your game too. Vote for who you want to. I'm sticking to the plan.
But what's the plan?
And then they're doing their thing. Jess, Tiffany, and Q are all kind of like, are we voting Banu?
Are we?
So Banu gets up and goes directly to Tiffany. And just like, Tiffany, are you voting me out? And when Tiffany said, stop making the block hot.
Baby, I was like, if you don't know what that means, baby.
I was living because I know what it means.
Don't make the block hot for yourself, baby. The block is already hot and you finna set it on fire.
This should have been the most straightforward vote.
It should have been so easy.
And that's no shade to Jess because I think she's lovely and I think she is wonderful. But this should have been a straightforward vote.
Ugh.
And Bonnie was out here Bonoing.
And he is Bonoing to the.
And thankfully, Q was like, "We're good,
right?
We're good." And then they go to vote, and then Jess plays her fake idol that's not real.
And she handled that so well. When Jeff said this is not a real idol, she looked back and she was like, "Huh."
And she even straight up asked him to his face earlier in the day.
Yes, she did.
And I'm like, that's why, like, that all didn't need to happen.
It didn't need to happen.
And I know that was not directly Q's fault. There's no one to directly blame because it was a collective plan.
Mm-hmm.
I just think we didn't need to go that far with it.
We didn't need to.
It just felt like playing.
You're trying to make a fool out of her.
Yeah, it felt like playing in her face, making a fool out of her. I didn't love that personally. But was I entertained by this episode because of Yanu on a whole? Yes, I was entertained. There's just a couple of things where I'm like, y'all could have done things a little bit differently upon reflection. And they're probably all looking at this too, like, we could have done things a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
And what should have been a straightforward vote, guess what, Lana? Ended up a straightforward vote.
It was.
And Jess got voted out. And Banu was just like, shit, I should have trusted the people around me.
Yep. You should just shut your mouth and just go with what we sold you. Like, but you out here Bonoing, being Bono and doing the Bono things. And now they look at you like, mm-hmm. You better hope we win next. Cause ooh, child. Ooh. It's something. Yeah. But Jess is out. She leaves with class, and I hate this episode aired on her birthday. Like,
I cannot believe on her birthday that they would drag her through the mud like this.
Absolutely.
How dare you?
How dare you?
They didn't know it was going to air on her.
No, they didn't know, but still.
That seems to be happening a lot recently, where people on shows we're watching get eliminated on their birthdays.
It airs on their birthday, yep.
I'm like, that's
not
cute. But
that's it, y'all.
I'm happy that Jess got to play.
Mm-hmm.
I am sad that it wasn't, the experience that she wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Another Asian woman going out pre-merge on a new era season of Survivor.
Yeah, but in this case, I will say she brought it on herself.
In this case, unfortunately, it was deserved. I don't like saying that.
I don't, because it's been times that it was not deserved. But
Helen.
But this case, in this case,
Justine was a
little. She kind of did a little much. But yeah, I feel like in this case, unfortunately, I don't think Jess was ready for what she was signing up for. So, but
hey, 17th place in the new era is looking pretty iconic.
Yeah, it is.
Our good friend Brandon Donlin. So, 17th ain't looking too bad in the new era.
But that was it, y'all. That was pretty much it at this moment.
And next week,
yeah,
Banu is still digging the hole. He's still digging the hole. And Venus is trying to target Hunter. Don't tell David. Don't tell David. Don't tell David.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
We sure will.
We shall see what happens. But we will be back. Same time. Maybe different panel. Who knows? But we don't know. But we'll be back to talk about episode 3 of Survivor 46. While you're here, if you stuck around this whole time, hit the subscribe button, and we appreciate you. Hit the subscribe and the notification bell and all the things that say you support us, and we appreciate you. Go join us on our pod TV about all things drag, and then Cup ESC about all things Eurovision Song Contest. Go join those channels. Subscribe to those channels. Do those things. Join our membership channel, the Tea Room, and get some exclusive content. Give us a super thanks while you're over there too. That'd be great. Everything that you give us
We
goes back
might go
to
back
you.
and rewatch some old Survivor seasons at some point.
I mean, we've done it before, so we do
We've
it
talked about
again.
it. So,
If you're a Survivor fan and you want to see us do a Survivor rewatch, drop in the comments. Let us know. Um, Follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can follow Logan and myself if you want. And you can also keep scrolling down in the description and get your cup merch in the US for sure. Internationally, I don't know right now. We're working on it. But get your cup mugs and all of your things and all any of our cup merch. And yeah, that's it. We'll see y'all next time. Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers. Ole, 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 ole. Oh.